Hi, my name's Maria from www.ieltsonlinepreparation.com, and in this video I'm going to talk about the IELTS Writing Task 2 and specifically the criteria of lexical resource. So what exactly is a lexical resource? Well, this criterion refers to the range of vocabulary the candidate has used and the accuracy and appropriacy of that use in terms of the specific task. So let's take a look at some of the keywords in this description. Firstly, range refers to the number of words, different words, you use in your writing. So say for example in an essay of 250 words you use 120 different types of words, you're going to have a larger range than somebody who does the same essay and only uses 80 different types of words. The next keyword is accuracy, and what this refers to is spelling and word formation. For example, are you using a verb when you need a verb, a noun when you need a noun, an adverb when you need an adverb? Appropriacy is referring to your choice of words, but it's also in relation to the specific task. Now, the similarities between a band score 6, 7 and 8 are that all of these band scores use vocabulary and lexis related to the essay question. That means you're using appropriate lexis or appropriate vocabulary in order to score a band score 6, 7 and 8. If you're scoring lower, for example a band score 5, then you don't know enough vocabulary specific to the topic. Now of course there is a difference in the ability to use the different vocabulary at band score 6, 7 and 8, and we'll look at the specific criteria to show you what those differences are. But one of the techniques that you can use to expand your range of vocabulary and appropriacy is actually to study the very common topics that come up in IELTS Task 2 writings. Here are some of the really common topics: education, crime, diet, fitness and health, work, information technology, the environment, science and the arts. All of these topics have their own lexical field or group of words and collocations and phrases that are associated with them, and it's possible for you to systematically learn these words and collocations in order to extend your range of vocabulary when this topic comes up, and also the appropriacy of that vocabulary in terms of the specific task. So let's take a closer look at the criteria. So what I'm looking at here are the writing band descriptors for IELTS Task 2, and this is the public version, and you can download these from the internet by typing in those keywords into your browser. So I said before that range related to the different words you use, and if we look at band score 6, the criteria says uses an adequate range of vocabulary for the task. So this means that you have enough vocabulary and lexis related to the essay question in order to have enough vocabulary to describe what you want to describe, to convey the message that you want to convey. Whereas if we compare this to band score 7, which reads uses a sufficient range of vocabulary to allow some flexibility and precision, and band score 8, which reads uses a wide range of vocabulary fluently and flexibly to convey precise meanings, you can see very clearly that there is a difference in how this vocabulary is used and the number of words available to the writer to be used to convey the intended message. So what this criteria is really related to is how many words do you know to say the same thing. If we go back to band score 6 and look at the second criteria, it reads attempts to use less common vocabulary but with some inaccuracy. if we compare that to band score 7 and band score 8, we see uses less common lexical items with some awareness of style and collocation. Now, collocations are words that have a tendency to co-occur together, i.e. they go together. So if I say fish and you're probably saying chips in your head, or if I'm writing an essay about crime, what's the verb that goes with crime? Yep, to commit a crime. Moving up to band score 8, the criteria reads skillfully uses uncommon lexical items, but there may be occasional inaccuracies in word choice and collocation. So with band score 8, we're becoming far more natural in our lexical use, and the flow of the ideas and the way they're expressed is far more fluent and sounds more native-like. Also, from band score 6 through 7 to 8, there's an increased accuracy in spelling and word formation. You can see in band score 8 produces rare errors in spelling and or word formation, whereas in band score 7 may produce occasional errors in word choice, spelling and or word formation. Now, you may be asking, what is an occasional error? Well, there's no set number of errors, but if you imagine reading through an essay and there are mistakes, and on your mistake radar there's a little blip like ping, and then you keep reading, ping, and you keep reading, ping, that's occasional. Whereas if you compare that with band score 6, which reads, make some errors in spelling and or word formation, but they do not impede communication, this blip, ping, 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 is much more common. The assumption is that when you're scoring band score 6, you will be making errors in spelling and word formation. However, these are not going to impede communication. Communication and your message is still being conveyed through the lexis that you choose. Now I want to talk more specifically about these less common words that are referred to in the criteria, and also about how to extend your range of vocabulary and bring in more accuracy and more style, more sense of style and appropriacy. And some of the common strategies are using prefixes, which change the meaning of the word, using suffixes, which change the part of speech, using collocations, and I said before they are words that have a tendency to co-occur together, and just using less common words. And these may come, for example, from the academic word list. Particularly if you're doing academic IELTS, it's a good idea to start learning the words from this word list. But generally speaking, less common words are going to be words that are not found in the 2,000 to 3,000 most common or most frequently used words in English. I have a video on vocabulary, specifically on word frequency, that you can watch if you want more information about this. So let's take a closer look at how we can use prefixes, suffixes, and less common words. So here you might write not legitimate, and that becomes illegitimate with the use of the prefix ill. Or you might want to write the phrase not impressive, and that becomes unimpressive with the prefix un. Or looking at how suffixes can change the part of speech, you may be starting with the verb communicate, but then need to use the noun, which turns to communication, or the adjective, which turns to communicative, or the adverb communicatively. Or, again, you could go back and use prefixes to change the meaning, miscommunicate. Your ability to use less common words with a sense of style is what's going to boost your score from band score 6 to band score 7. But you can't just put any words together. They have to collocate together. Let's take, for example, the base phrase, "They really don't like technology." So this uses pretty ordinary and common vocabulary. However, if we wanted to use less common words but still maintain the meaning, we could write something like, "They dislike technology intensely," or "They have an intense dislike of technology." So both of these phrases, both of these sentences, have exactly the same meaning, but they demonstrate an ability to use less common words accurately, incorporating prefixes and different parts of speech. Let's also take a look at collocations. Now, we said before that collocations are words that tend to co-occur together. The website that I'm looking at is a fantastic website that actually gives you the common grammatical patterns you can see here. Noun plus to communicate, adjective plus to communicate, verb plus to communicate, communicate plus adverb, and all of the common collocations, the words that go together. By studying these collocations and gradually using them in your writing and in your speaking, you increase not only the range of your writing, but you increase the appropriacy of your writing in terms of the task, and you move into this band score 8 criteria where you are using a wide range of vocabulary, you're skillfully using uncommon lexical items, and it just makes your writing far more fluent and sophisticated and stylistically impressive when you use collocations accurately. So to sum up, in band score 6, you can use vocabulary and lexis related to the essay question, but the difference between band score 6 and band score 7 and 8 is that you can change these words and phrases with relative ease in the examples that we saw down here, and you have a much greater awareness of different collocations. So I hope this clarifies the lexical resource criteria for task 2 of the IELTS writing. If you would like any more help, sign up to our free newsletter at www.ieltsonlinepreparation.com. Thanks for listening.